So here I am sitting at Jake's Rocks, been mountain biking for almost 2 decades now, and I have to admit, I'm not very good at jumping. But in my defense, most of my career has been cross-country racing and riding old school single track, which you're not really going after a lot of air, you're doing the technical stuff. So now, at 51 years of age, I've decided I should get better at jumping again, just like back when I was a kid racing BMX. Had that no fear, wanted to hit everything. So I've picked one jump out here at Jake's Rocks that I'm going to work on throughout the summer, and here's the starting video of it, of how bad I am at jumping. But I got Ron, who's part of Rock Solid. He's been giving me some advice. He's a much better jumper than I am, and I've been following these guys on YouTube with all of their advice as good jumpers, well, great riders and great jumpers, right? So there's Seth, and there's Alexander, and there's Phil, and there's Brian. Following these guys, taking their advice, I'm gonna see if I can get a lot better at jumping. Because when it comes down to it, my big problem is timing and confidence, just committing. So let's go ride, see what I can do. Well, maybe I caught it, maybe I didn't. All right, here's the jump I've chosen. So now there's several reasons I've chose this jump. One, because this is one Ron is also trying to get really a lot better at, and he's giving me some pointers on it. Got a little video there. But two, because it's almost a step up. One of the things that I lose focus on is the jump is just part of the ride. You got to remember that once you hit your landing, you got to keep going. And for whatever reason, because the really good jumpers, I guess this is the reason, the really good jumpers, they can clear this whole thing, and then they're hitting way out here on the berm. That gives me a visual of where I want to try and reach for, and then knowing that the trail is going to bring me right back down. And so it's not one of those jumps where when you go over it, you're suddenly looking, you know, like a drop 12 feet down. This has a little bit more of a comfort level as I'm pushing my confidence, because the landing and the rolling out isn't even where I'm at with my poor riding or my poor jumping. It's all in the timing and the commitment on the front end of this jump. And the front end of this jump gives you a nice lip with enough time to work on your timing, and it's really enough of a tabletop that it gives you something to work for. So going in, there's enough area here where I can work on really pushing into the jump and rolling with the bike. And that gives me some marker as I hit the top here of, you know, me personally. I mean, I know those guys are hitting way out there. It's just intense to watch them. I'd be happy, even though technically it would be a case, I'd be happy to hit this just on this side of the trees. If I could just clear the trees in the air, I personally, at my riding level, I would be very, very tickled. So that's what we're going to work on. We're just going to set the camera down, and I'll be able to measure what feels good, what feels bad, and do some jumping until I'm too tired to do it. Because that's another thing, whatever you're working on with riding, when you start to get tired, when you start to do stupid things, it's time to stop. So that was number one. Didn't feel like I had my feet set right. Felt like I was in the wrong gear. Yes, I know my prescription riding glasses. I've already heard the names.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
I like Santa.
That was number 2. A lot of speed, still had that cross-country mindset. Just get over the jump, get the wheels on the tire, keep rolling, or wheels on the ground, keep rolling. This time, I'm gonna try and slow down some and let the bike do more of the work. I might stay about that speed, just work on the mechanics. Heavy on the feet, light on the hands, push into the jump, and just let the natural momentum of the jump bring me up. I got to get better, get those first 2 down, then when I get in the air, I got to get better at pushing the bike out, having my legs bring the bike up. As I was hitting this one, because I'm not really sure what I did with my body position, but I felt like I actually came down front wheel first. You know, I know the number one hardest thing to getting better at something like this and putting it out on the World Wide Web, riding for as long as I have been, and this goes to everybody in any sport, any activity you do, is having the humility to understand you can get better, that there's areas where you have weakness. And if you really want to get better, you can't do the same thing over and over again. You have to improve your mechanics, improve your fitness, improve every aspect. And the best way to do that is to reach out to men and women who, well, are better at it than you are. We humans, it's so hard for us to be humble. Now, because my mechanics feel good, I'm going to aim for a landing position, which should help with everything else, right? I mean, if you look at the big jumpers, the guys that ride out at Whistler and whatnot, their whole thing is they don't want to case the jump. So I feel like I'm getting the speed and I'm feeling comfortable enough that now I'm going to try and not case the jump. Yeah, that's being optimistic. We should move the camera a little bit more. Okay, I think that's a little more realistic. Just trying to hit past these trees. If I can just get past this line, I will consider that successful. I think technically to say I didn't case it, I got to be somewhere down here, which is like another, I don't know, 2.5 feet, 2.5, 3 feet. But if I land past the trees, that's a huge accomplishment for me. Yeah, I don't know what I did, but the takeoff felt good. That one felt fun, and I'm getting tired, so come with me. We'll pedal all the way back to the top. I'll let you ride this down with me, and then we'll move on. So, you ride back with me now. We'll do the full section of what we all call the whoops, the upper part of corn planter, as if we're heading back towards the parking lot. Up on the jump I've been practicing. Okay, I felt like I hit it pretty good that time. Lost a lot of speed though, and I lost the trail. join us for video number 2. We'll get Ron out here, do some fundamental stuff on the jumping, have him tow me in a few times. Take care. Oh.